Well, neighborhood kids come knock at your door in costumes once a year. Can be scary. In real estate, a component of trick or treat, though, exists in every transaction. Winkta's real estate expert Denny from the Denny and Company, here to explain how to avoid horror stories of your own. And it doesn't have to be this time of year. These can happen any time of year.
Every transaction has an element of trick or treat. And again, deals go bad all the time, and if it goes bad in the first couple of weeks, that's just a disappointment. If it goes bad 2 days before closing, that could be a real horror show.
You got a real problem right there.
Yeah, that's a treat.
So what do you need to watch out for if you want to watch some of these tricks? What are the tricks? What could happen to you?
Well, number one, I recommend that sellers have their title examined early versus late. This is generally, most people don't get their title examined until a few weeks before closing, and there are a lot of gremlins can come up during that title examination. Like, for example, there could be unknown liens, or there could be some survey issues, or public records have errors in them. And if it's not discovered early, it could delay closing. And now, since the law changed, there's new disclosure laws as of October 3rd. All the papers have to be correct, or if not, they got to be resubmitted and wait 3 days, and that could be a real horror show for buyers moving in with their moving truck and family and pets and all that.
And it's the smallest things here that'll trip you up too. I mean, even typos.
Yeah, absolutely, and that would trigger the new 3-day rule. And what's interesting is that can be totally avoided if sellers would, when they list the home, go ahead and have their title checked.
So start early. What about when you're coming towards closing?
Yeah, well, then you got to know your key dates. There's 3 dates that we should always know: your wife's birthday, your anniversary, and the effective date of your contract. The effective date, Rob, is the starting gun. All contingencies are based from the effective date. So know when the contingencies start, know when they end, so you can plan accordingly. And if you don't have, the third point is to make sure everything's in writing. I'm shocked at how many sellers or people I talk about in real estate in general say, oh yeah, I've got a contract on my house, and I ask them about it. Well, I don't know, I don't have a copy of it. I think this is what the case is. If you don't have a copy of your contract, there may be a strong possibility you don't have a contract. And if you don't have a contract, the chance that your closing isn't good. So that could be a real trick for you if you're planning on something that's not going to happen.
You end up with nothing.
Absolutely. So if you don't have a copy of it, ask for it. If they can't deliver it, that's a danger sign.
Can you look for treats? Can anything good happen in this process for you?
Well, it could all work as planned, but the last thing we have to understand is sellers have to understand that there's a mortgage process that buyers have to go through, and there's a mortgage underwriter. We call the underwriters the witches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they can determine which day you close. And timing's really important. In fact, the underwriter I've seen happen 24 hours before closing. They'll say, you know what, we're not going to write the loan anymore. And it pulls the rug out from the buyer and the seller. No one's really to blame, and it causes a real problem. So the only thing I say to sellers or buyers is have a contingency plan, because there's nothing that's 100% in a real estate transaction.
Until it's done.
Until it's done.
All right, good advice, Denny. Trick or treat. Winkta's this morning. We'll be right back. Stay with us.